it's Nicole from Nicole Loves Nails. Welcome to my channel.
So keep me in your sight, 'cause I can do this all night.
If you are new around here, hi, I am Nicole. It is wonderful to meet you. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Do consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoy nail polish related content. I upload new videos every single week featuring a mixture of mainstream, indie, as well as boutique nail polish brands. So today's video is for the November polish pickup. So the theme for November, we have 'Tis the Season. So yes, it's basically holiday themed. If you are new, Polish Pickup is a monthly indie collaboration featuring many different indie polish makers. Each month they all follow a theme and have limited edition nail polishes that are exclusive to the Polish Pickup website. Before we get into today's video, I do want to mention two things. One, starting in November, the Polish Pickup international website, polishpickup.co.uk, is no more. So all orders, both US and international, are going to be purchased exclusively through the polishpickup.com website. Second thing, I started channel memberships over here on my YouTube channel, so if you would like to get some bonus perks and support my channel, I will have a link down in the description box if you would like to join the channel membership. Okay, so as per usual, down in the description box, I will have links to where you can purchase these polishes, links to the Polish Pickup social media pages, my social media pages, as well as a link to my blog post on nicolelovesnails.com where I host all of my swatch photos, as well as do comparisons. Also on my blog post, if you would like to support each of these individual makers, I will have links to their websites and social media pages over on my blog post. If you enjoy the offerings that these makers make, definitely support them over on their personal website. Also down in the description box, I will of course have timestamps if you would like to skip ahead. Right, so now that's all the way, let's get into this video. First up, we have All Mixed Up Lacquers with Holiday Hubie Wada. All Mixed Up Lacquers was inspired by the Grinch, and this one is described as being a white/gray base with scattered holographic flakes, holographic and metallic glitters in multiple different sizes and shapes. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 150 bottles. So this polish had a really great formula. It was on the thicker side, but that is to be expected as there are a ton of glitters and flakies in this polish. I really love the glitter mix in here. I love the flakies in here, and I thought both were just absolutely fantastic. You do not need to hold the bottle upside down or do any fishing to get the larger glitters out. You will get more of the large circle glitters out on the nail if you hold the bottle upside down between coats. I got a really good out on the nail here during the live swatch. I did not shake the polish before I used this one. For my full hand swatch, I did run this one through my nail polish shaker before I put it on, and you can see I got like a lot of glitters out on the nail, which I personally really like. So how many glitters you get out will really depend on how well you shake this one. I will say the glitters do give this one a bit of texture. I personally paired it with a glitter smoothing top coat before my quick dry top coat, and that got it perfectly smooth. Removal is going to be extremely difficult with this polish. I would definitely recommend soaking this one off or using a peel off base coat because scrubbing this one off is going to be hellish. And now we have Bee's Knees Lacquer with Perchta. Bee's Knees Lacquer was inspired by the novel Gilded by Marissa Meyer and their winter huntress Perchta. This one is described as being an icy sibling to a lion with a thorn in its paw with red to green shimmer and extra holographic flakes. It's priced at $13.50 for 15 ml and has no cap. So this polish had a fantastic formula. It applies just like all the other lion sibling polishes. I do think this one is likely going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on both personal preference and thickness in coats. For my full hand swatches, I was good in 2 coats, but for the live swatch, I really needed that 3rd coat, so I'm guessing I went in for thicker coats than I realized during my full hand swatches. The holographic flakies all spread it very evenly and easily without giving off any texture. They are super duper holographic, so these look amazing out in the sunlight, which you'll see that in a second. I am recording this voiceover just shortly after I recorded the voiceover for the last batch of Lion Sibling polishes, so if I'm sounding over it, it's because I feel over it. But this one is really gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, it is redonkulously beautiful. I'm just feeling a little over it over describing the same polish 15 times in a row now. Nothing in here is going to dry down textured, and removal will not be difficult at all, but it will be very messy. And FYI, there are some comparisons up on my blog post for this polish. And now we have Cameo Colors Lacquers with Tarnish with Ashes and Soot. This polish was inspired by a line from 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. This one is described as being a vibrant Santa suit red with a dash of holographic sparkle in gold flash, full of gold metallic flakes, red holographic micro glitter, a touch of small matte white glitters, as well as silver hollow microflakes, plus a smattering of black flakies. This one is priced at $11.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 105 bottles. So this polish had a fantastic formula. It is in a jelly base, so you're going to want to build it up to get the most opacity. I do think it will likely be a solid 3-coater if you have any issues with not liking to see your visible nail line. If you have super short nails, it'll be passable in 2 coats, but the 3rd coat does deepen that base color just a smidge. All of the components in here spread out very evenly and easily without giving off very much texture. I did 1 coat of top coat and that seemed to smooth everything out really nicely. Removal will be on the more difficult side for this one just because there's a lot going on in here and it will be very messy as well. I will say, as someone who does not love red nail polish, I did think this one was really pretty on the nail. Next up, we have Color Spectrum Polish with Make My Wish Come True. Color Spectrum Polish was inspired by Mariah Carey's Christmas album, and this one's described as being a white crelly base with red to gold shifting shimmer, red and gold holographic glitters, as well as hollow. This polish had a really great formula. Ignore this because I did not put enough polish on my brush. Because this one is in a white crelly base, it starts off a little bit uneven, a little bit kind of milky-ish, but I did find that it built up really nicely. It's going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your own personal preferences. I tend to prefer my white crellies in 3 coats just because I like how the glitters build up in 3 coats, but coverage is even enough in just 2 coats. The glitters in here are all really small, so they're not going to dry down like crazy textured or be like super difficult to remove. 1 coat of top coat seemed to smooth it out really nicely. And I will also note, I do think that the glitter mix in here is just holiday enough that you can definitely wear this for holiday manis. But I think it's not holiday so much that like if you're wearing this any other time of the year, that it's gonna like scream like Christmas on your nails, which I kind of appreciate. So I swatched this one in 3 coats plus glossy top coat, and as I mentioned, removal is not gonna be too difficult, but I did use a peel off base coat. And now we have Crystal Knockout with Tickle for a Nickel. Crystal Knockout was inspired by Belle's Nickel, interpreted by Dwight Schrute. This polish is described as being a cranberry red jelly base with black to red ultra chrome micro flakes, matte black micro glitters, metallic color shifting flakes, as well as iridescent color shifting flakes. It's priced at $12 for 15 ml and has no cap. So this one had a great formula. It was on the thicker side and it was on the more sheer side, so you're going to want to build this one up to get the most opacity going. Color wise, this one is not really my cup of tea, but I did really like how the flakies and glitters and whatnots looked in the base. And you do get out some of the larger flakies, which I always really appreciate in flaky nail polishes. I do think this one is likely going to be a solid 3-coater just to get the most opacity. Coverage is even, but it's still pretty dang sheer in 2 coats, so I don't really see too many people like jumping for joy for this one in 2 coats. Of course, using this one as a topper over like a similar colored base or even black is definitely an option for this one. But like, I really like this one with a matte top coat. I didn't like it very much with glossy, but like with matte, I was like, okay, I can see how this one is pretty nice. Removal for this one shouldn't be overly difficult. You know, I still don't recommend scrubbing it off, but you could if you wanted. Next up, we have Fair Maiden Polish with Holla Dazzle. Fair Maiden Polish was inspired by the yearly Festival Lights parade that they have over in Minnesota. This one is described as being a bright champagne golden yellow with a violet red green shifting shimmer, as well as silver reflective glitter. It's priced at $12 for 15 ml and has no cap. So this one had a pretty good formula. It was on the thicker side, but I did not find application difficult. The thickness wasn't at all surprising, by the way. The reflective glitters do tend to make polishes a bit more on the thicker side. The shimmer in here is absolutely stunning. I will say this one really threw me for a loop when I was swatching it because, one, I didn't know champagne could be golden or yellow in color. I thought it was like a pinkish brassy color. So yeah, I was super confused at the description for this one, but I will say it was really gorgeous. The shimmer will give this one a almost chartreusey look on the nail depending on lighting. I swatched this one in 3 coats plus 2 coats of top coat because those reflective glitters do give off some texture. Removal is going to be fairly difficult. I would not recommend scrubbing this polish off. And now we have Heather's Hues with That Glow Is Lit. Heather's Hues was inspired by the magical glow of Christmas lights, and this one's described as being a blue base with a gold-green magnetic pigment, iridescent red-green glitters, as well as silver reflective glitter. This one is priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 150 bottles. This polish had a fantastic formula. It started off a little bit sheer on the first coat, but I did find that it did reach full opacity in 2 coats. The reflective glitters do give this one a little bit of texture, but I don't think you definitely need a glitter smoothing top coat with it. The magnetic pigment in here is super fun. Like, once again, I was playing around with magnets. So for the live swatch here, I'm using an arch magnet. I'll have that linked in the description box. For my full hand swatches, I used a zigzag magnet, I believe it's called. I don't know if that one that I used is available yet because I got it as a PR sample, but I'll link it if I'm able to. I had this polish on for almost 24 hours and I didn't find that the magnetic lines that I got from my full hand swatches, I found that the following day that my nails still look the same, so these lines seem to stay pretty crisp. For my full hand swatch, on my pointer finger and my pinky, I swatched it in 2 coats. On my middle nail and on my ring finger, the ones that are magnetized, I swatched it in 3 coats. So I did 2 coats for full opacity and then I only magnetized the 3rd coat. That is generally how I always do all magnetic polishes, as I find you get a lot more opacity by building it up for opacity and then magnetizing the final coat.
Sass.
Removal for this polish is going to be fairly messy. I would not suggest scrubbing it off. It'll be fairly difficult if you go that route. I thought it was going to be a stainer. I did not personally experience any staining, but I would definitely suggest wearing base coat with this polish. As far as non-nail polish items, I do have 2 to share. The first being the Hues Cuticle Balm. So the Hues Cuticle Balm, the fragrance this month is called Christmas Wonderland. So this is priced at $11.50 for 30 ml, which I believe calculates to 1 ounce, and it has a cap of 50 jars available. The brand describes the fragrance on this one as a blend of festive scents of a Christmas morning, so fir, fresh pine needles, and woodsy cedar. This is the first time I'm sniffing this, and I'm actually a little nervous because I do not like any of those fragrance notes. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, I don't like this. Yeah, this is not the fragrance for me. It smells very woodsy, very piney, and that is not my thing. I will say that as a product, I do like the Hues Cuticle Balm. I keep one over on my swatch table, and these do last for quite a while, I would say. This is the container from February of this year, and I have not reached pan on it. Like, yes, it's a little gunky on the sides because I lost the lid, but like, yes, I do use this one all the time. The 30 ml is going to last you quite a while. And just a warning, if you have any nut allergies, this product does have sweet almond oil in it, so I would be careful if you have any nut allergies. If you don't have any nut problems, I do like the product a lot. I just don't like this fragrance. Next up, we have KBShimmer with Snow Unique. KBShimmer was inspired by snowflakes. This is described as being a soft mint color in the bottle, but when applied has a soft blue hue that has a shimmer effect that ranges from pink, coral, green to yellow to orange. It is priced at $12 for 15 ml and has a cap of 1,000 bottles. This polish had a fantastic formula. The shimmer in here is redonkulously strong. It is a larger particle size, so you will not get any brush strokes on the nail. It is also super duper sparkly. I was seeing all of the color shifts in person, and I will say if you apply this one over black, which you are seeing here, it has like a totally different look on the nail. This one is like super duper sheer, so you will have very obvious visible nail line with it, even in 3 coats, or you could, pair it as a topper over a variety of base colors. For my swatch photos, I swatched this one in 3 coats plus glossy top coat. I got a lot of people asking if this polish is a dupe for the Bee's Knees lacquer polish called Magic is Life. I wouldn't say that they are like 100% dupes, but I would say they're like 90% dupes. I'll have comparisons up on my blog post. Thing in here is going to dry down textured or be difficult to remove. It will be on the more messy side though, just because those shimmer particles are just going to get stuck to your fingers. All right, and the second non-nail polish item I have to share is by KBShimmer, and this is their Sugar Scrub. This month's fragrance is called Peppermint Marshmallow. It's priced at $10 for 9.5 ounces. The brand describes the fragrance on this one as sweet notes of sugary whipped marshmallow. A hint of vanilla blends perfectly with notes of fresh peppermint. Okay, I feel so bad that I don't like the fragrances on any of the special items this month. So I do not like peppermint fragranced anything, and this is very pepperminty. Yeah, it does have like some sweetness to it from the marshmallow, but it's very pepperminty. Let me just show the container real quick. Hopefully it's not too white that you all can see that. And also just to mention for shipping related things, this product does come with like a foil seal on top to keep it from leaking during shipping. So I always say this, but the KBShimmer Sugar Scrub is my favorite sugar scrub in the whole world. This is the one that I keep in like both of my bathrooms. I use this like for all over body. I use this for manicures, pedicures. Like I really do like the sugar scrub, but the fragrance, this is not for me. I'm not a peppermint person. So yeah, don't like the fragrance, love the product. Next up we have Night Owl Lacquer with Spread Love and Kindness. Night Owl Lacquer was inspired by the spirit of the season, and this one is described as being a clear base filled with a fuchsia peach gold green shifting shimmer, turquoise flakes, and holographic dust. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish had a really fantastic formula. I was really surprised that this one is in a clear base. I'm guessing it's the amount of shimmer paired with those turquoise flakes that give this polish the look as if it has like a minty turquoisey type of base in there. This one is full coverage. I really liked coverage in 2 coats. For my swatch photos, I did use 3 coats just because like I thought that would be more full coverage. But for personal wear, I just really like this one in just 2 coats. Removal is going to be extremely messy, but not at all difficult. Now we have Poetry Cowgirl nail polish with Love Bug. This brand was inspired by the Florida Love Bug season, and this is described as being a delicate taupe base packed with a red to black multi-chrome micro flake. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has no cap. So Love Bug had a really beautiful Crelly formula. I don't love taupe bases. Like as a general rule, this color does not do anything for me. I was pleasantly surprised that the addition of those red to black flakies, that I actually liked how this one looked on the nail. I feel like I get that surprise shock a lot when I try on taupe polishes. I'm like, oh, this actually looks really nice. I don't know why. Every single time it surprises me that like I think it looks nice, even though like this color does not do anything for me. The flakies in here all spread out very evenly and easily. These do not dry down textured. I do think this polish is likely going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length and how you feel about visible nail line. I think coverage is pretty passable in 2 coats if you have longer nails, but if you want to cover up any visible nail line, you're going to want to go in for that 3rd coat. And this one looks fantastic with a matte top coat, by the way. The flakies are not going to be difficult to remove. They will be a bit more on the messy side though. Next up we have Restored by Polish with Arctic Holiday. The brand was inspired by their recent trip to Alaska, and this one is described as being a delicate silvery white Crelly base with a slight purple shimmer, as well as charcoal lavender black microflakes, as well as color shifting flakies. It's priced at $12.50 for 12 ml and has a cap of 100 bottles. Arctic Holiday had a really fantastic formula. It starts off a little bit sheer, a little bit uneven, but you know, not terribly surprising for a milky, Crelly kind of base. I do think this one is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length and personal preference. Shimmer in here is super delicate and it did not photograph well, so I'm going to tweak the camera settings here so you can see the shimmer. You can see it easily in person without like tweaking your lighting, but just like my camera just did not want to show that beautiful shimmer. So I swatched this one in 3 coats plus glossy top coat. Removal is not going to be overly difficult. You all know I don't like scrubbing anything off, but you could if you wanted to. The final item is by Sassy Sauce Polish, and this one is called Pinch My Grinch. This polish is inspired by a photo of Mr. Grinch with an ornament, and it's described as being a dark green thermal when cold with a strong pinky red copper gold shifting shimmer, red hollow micro glitter, as well as a red flaky that fades away when warm, leaving a stunning sparkly shimmer. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has a cap of 500 bottles. This polish had a fantastic formula. I did not have any issues with it. The thermal aspect started changing on me right away. I found the warm state gives this, and I'm hesitant to call it a nude. It's like a tannish, taupey kind of nude. I will fully admit that this polish really reminded me, like I saw this and I was like, this is a Freddy Krueger nail polish. Like I don't see the Grinch, I see Freddy Krueger in just like this color scheme. The red flakies in here do give this polish a little bit of texture. Some of them will poke up off of the nail. Depending on how the flakes lie, you might want to go in for a 2nd coat of top coat, and those flakies will make this polish a bit more difficult to remove. I swatched this one in 3 coats. I think coverage is pretty passable in 2 coats. Depending on how you feel about visible nail line will depend on whether or not this one is a 2 or 3 coater. As far as top picks go, my number 1 top pick is going to be the All Mixed Up Lacquers polish. I really love the glitter mix in that polish. And like it had some big old honkin' flakies, which I always personally really like.
I like big flakies and I cannot lie.
And I just thought like the combination of like the components together. I don't know why those big circle glitters I love so much. I really hope they're making a resurgence because I feel like a couple of brands have been using those components lately in their polishes, and I am definitely here for it. My second top pick is going to go to the Heather's Hues polish. I had a lot of fun magnetizing that one, both in the live swatch, which you all saw, plus in for my full hand swatches. I really like the color combination in that one, and I don't know, I just really like that color. In my final top pick is going to be a fight between the KBShimmer polish and the Owl Lacquer polish. I don't know which one of those I liked more. That's my overall top 4 from all of these releases. So I would love to know what everyone else thought of these polishes. What are you planning on picking up from the Polish Pickup website? Like, have you done your wish listing yet? I did my wish list live on last week's live stream, so I'll have that linked in the description box if anyone wants to sit through a couple hours of me gabbing away while picking out my wish list. I would like to give a shout out really quick to my channel members, so thank you so much for the support. Anna, Michelle, Karen, Kimberly, Brian, Jenny, and Becky, thank you all so very much for the support. If you would like to join in on the channel memberships, again, I have those linked down in the description box. The Polish Pickup Shop opens up Friday, November 4th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And once again, international shipping is available over there. If you need help with time zones and whatnot, I'll have a link in the description box to like a time zone converter because I ain't doing that math, but you sure can. So I want to say thank you all so very much for watching my video. Please do not forget to hit that like button if you have not yet already. It definitely helps out my channel so much, and as well as hit subscribe if you have not yet already. Thank you all again for watching. I hope everyone has a fantastic week. Happy shopping, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!